Hey everyone, welcome to This Week in Caribbean Startups. It's a weekly show about Caribbean digital rock stars and what I call their sun kissed innovations. So basically, what I'm doing, I'm sharing short stories about all kinds of entrepreneurs and digital businesses who are future proofing the Caribbean with technology. So you will know a little bit about what problems they're solving, what trends they're riding, and how they're making money doing it. So, welcome to the Caribbean that's beyond the beach. My name is Ingrid Riley. So, in every episode, and this is the fourth one, I talk about three Caribbean startups. One that's like an OG, a tech pioneer in the space. Another one that's a startup that I believe you really must know about. And yet another, which is kind of like a wild card that may probably leave you thinking they're making money doing what? So yeah, so let me jump right into it. I'm sort of gonna give this episode a theme. I'm gonna call it the Pivot Masters and the Facilitator, and you'll know why by the end of this episode. Okay, so first up is the OG tech pioneer, M Survey, now called Azure. Now, the founder is a Caribbean native from Bajan and Montserratian. Did I say that right? So in other words, his background is from Barbados and Montserrat, and he's also a MIT graduate. Now, Ajwa, formerly known as M-Survey, started life in the US and Kenya as a SaaS mobile consumer feedback company that helped businesses across Africa to make better decisions. Now, the startup raised a VC round of around US 3.5 million and also went to Jamaica and raised around six figures from the Alpha Angels investors. Then, clearly based on the data that they collected over a number of years, it pivoted to the new name Azure and a new focus. So M Survey is now Azure, the company that helps businesses come online and find customers. And so far, they have served over 100,000 African businesses with a reach of 22 million customers. And they also have a new narrative. So the new narrative is now that Azure was built to understand why customers buy and connect them to the right business. So what they're saying is that they're matchmakers between Azure's network of businesses and Azure's audience network of consumers on the entire African continent. For them, the ultimate goal is to drive more transactions within a growing payment ecosystem. Interesting. We'll be keeping an eye on them for sure. So up next is that startup that I believe that you really must know about. And that one is made in Bahamas called Arawak X. It was launched mid-pandemic actually, and it is literally a startup built to help other startups and SMBs. Now, it was founded by a father and son duo, and so Arawaks position themselves as a equity crowdfunding platform that also works closely with startups and SMBs to get them investor ready. And so, what they say that they work with promising companies and high growth potential to raise capital and build communities. So, the other narrative that they have out there is that Arawak is an international securities exchange that brings investors and innovative businesses together on a regulated platform. So, sidebar, Arawaks right now is helping a company to raise money to bring the American restaurant franchise called Red Lobster to both the Bahamas and Jamaica. So that's very interesting. Made in the Bahamas, the Arawak X. Interesting name, don't you think? Okay, so my final startup for this episode is in the category of what I call the wild card. That may have you thinking, they're making money doing what? So yeah, this one is called Same Logic, formerly known as Grickley. Now, made in Jamaica by two Jamaican co-founders, Grickley started out as an event planning, management, and analytics service that was using Bluetooth Smart and IG beacons, at its core to help booth holders at events, to gauge foot traffic, give deals to attendees, and sort of have this sort of a frictionless collection of data and details from event attendees. So it was almost like a CRM kind of a situation there. Then the two co-founders pivoted, and so Grickley became Same Logic. And so Same Logic became a startup that makes it easy for people to fill out a survey about a product's reputation, to send their comments and their feedback using their phones. Hello, we're in the mobile era, right? Then Same Logic pivoted again. So currently, Same Logic, which is now focused on what they call agile experiments for SaaS products. And with this pivot, they actually gained some investments. They took a undisclosed amount of money from a venture capital firm, a Black-owned venture capital firm based out of the States, headed by a Jamaican. I think it's Cross Ventures. No, Mac Capital. And so the narrative now is that Same Logic helps product teams to validate their ideas with in-app experiments using fake doors and microsurveys. And I know you're probably asking, what the hell is that? I know that's why we're gonna have to Google it, right? But I did tell you it's a wild card startup that may have you making, maybe have you thinking like they're making money doing what? So how Same Logic makes money, of course, is through a SaaS model, subscription model, and also, if I'm to go back up to Arawak X, they make their money if there are a platform that brings businesses and investors together. Of course, they're going to make a slice of the pie in terms of almost like a connector fee, and I'm sure they'll probably also take a little bit of equity as well. And M Survey, now called Azure, how they make their money, again, when they're facilitating transactions between businesses and customers, everybody takes a slice of the transaction fee. Yeah, so that's what you have for this episode of This Week in Carbon Startups. M Survey, now called Azure. Yes, they're one of the pivot masters. Arawak X, that startup that I really wanted you to know about. And then Grickley, now called Same Logic, again, another pivot master that is still in the game doing its thing. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening to This Week in Carbon Startups. And this week is brought to you by SiliconCaribe Tech Newswire. Yeah, we just launched a new service that we're testing. So it's a service that basically turns your company news, your company press release, into a branded sponsored post in 24 hours. So you can get your news about your deal, about your event, about released a product. Get that kind of a news in front of our entrepreneurs, executives, and investors who read all that we do from over 90 countries. And of course, I don't know if you know this, but SiliconCaribe is a Dow Jones syndicated media site, which means that we're read by entrepreneurs, investors, and executives from over 90 countries. So if you want, go to SiliconCaribe, upload your press release, pay that what I call a very inflation friendly rate of $99 US, and have your release published in 24 hours. So so that's my plug as we close out. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, then subscribe on your favorite platform. Whatever you're listening to, we are on Spotify, we're on Google, we're on iTunes, we're on Overcast, and more platforms to come. So remember to subscribe, tell a few friends, and leave a comment where you can. So till next week, Thursday, I'm Ingrid Riley. Take it easy.